first of those 12. Competitor for Canada, Olivia Martin. Olivia rides her own Karate, 10-year-old Mecklenburg Stallion. Rider that was champion at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair. Also a member of the Canadian national team. Looking to represent her team more as she grows in this sport. Also volunteers at animal rescues in her free time. This horse took a 7th place individual finish in the children's division at NAYC just last year. Also has competed up to the meter 40 fence height at the Winter Equestrian Festival. It's a very accomplished horse already, helping Olivia to chase her dreams at the higher levels. Going to be a very close competition here at the top among all of these currently on the clear, but the most important thing they can do at the moment is to make sure they don't accrue any more faults. They put themselves in contention for that gold medal. And she does just that. Really quick time on the clock as well, 71:53, but more importantly, no faults to add. So Olivia Martin adding a clear round to her already clean slate. She's done exactly what she had to do in this round, but still quite a few to come forth to determine her top competition. Chloe Kwong and Kalea up next for Zone 10, also returning on a clean slate, not a single fault in competition yet. Her mount Kalea, 12-year-old mare. And Chloe, a former team gold medalist at the USHJA Zone 10 Jumper Championships. That event, a great preview of what it's like to jump on a team, perform consistently over several days. She's able to take that top spot as a Zone 10 team member. That event taking place at the Desert International Horse Park, happening again this November. Kalea, the Westphalian mare, has competed up to the meter 40 fence height in FEI division. And just looking to keep a clean slate as she finishes this first round course, advance on to the next. And another clear round it is, 78:21 on the clock. So nothing to add there for Chloe Kwong, staying very competitive here at the top of the order. Still 10 more entries to come. But all they can do at this point is focus on themselves, not worry about that competition. Just perform as best as possible. Another competitor for Canada up next. And another on that 0 score. Matilda Kendall, Bordisco de Pleville. Rider on that gold medal winning team just a few days ago. Very impressive performance by Canada. Topped the most competitive division, ended in a jump off for gold and for bronze, several tied up there at the top. Very successful in the pony jumper divisions in Canada and the USA, setting up very nicely for the higher levels of jumping. With pony jumper circuit champion at the Winter Equestrian Festival this past winter. Moved up into the -10 fence height with this horse, as well as the low junior jumpers at the end of January. And up into the medium junior jumpers in Canada. So quickly traversing the higher levels of show jumping. That strong foundation in the pony jumpers serving her well. Actually won her first -30 class at Wesley at Clover Parks in July. This horse imported in January of 2022 from France. It's a Selle Francais 9-year-old stallion by Contendro. Some excellent breeding on that horse. Quite a few horses in these championships by Contendro. Seems to be a top breeding stallion for these championship level horses. Takes a special kind of horse to jump a championship because you need consistency over several days. And Matilda has shown some incredible consistency there. Yet another clear round for this Canadian rider. So we have 3 still on the 0. Going to be very tight there at the top as 3 returns so far. A completely fault-free score. Well, the next rider to compete, Zone 4 competitor Taylor Colley, rider that's been brought up in the sport. Her mother Molly Ash Colley, top show jumper, actually competing in the FEI divisions this week. But Taylor aboard Quintago VA, the entry for O'Neill show jumping. 15-year-old Holsteiner stallion by Quidam de Revel. Taylor already so accomplished at her young age. Was grand champion and best child rider at the Devon Horse Show. Also consistent victories in the low junior classic fence height, just starting in the medium junior jumpers as well. So these riders and horses definitely capable of jumping a track like this. Though it is that consistency that is going to really play a key role here after jumping several very rigorous rounds, having to come back and perform as best as possible today. But Taylor, a rider that is certainly up for that task, and a horse that has jumped up to the Grand Prix fence height with Uma O'Neill, top Grand Prix rider. And just one from home. Could be another clear round, and it is 77.3 on the clock. No faults to add there for the young rider from Zone 4. Taylor Colley keeps herself on a clean slate, stays tied for the lead. So far, no one returning on 0 faults has accrued any more penalties here today. Such a strong performance. A little bit of rainfall out there might distract some of these riders, but so far having no problems with that. So still to come here today, we have the individual final for the pre-junior division as well. That's going to be another highly competitive division. And there you see our current leaderboard. We have 4 on no penalties at all. In 5th place, Alexa Curry. In 6th, Scarlett Wallace. So moving right along to competitor for Zone 2, Emma Brody and Carantino Zed. Emma has the ride for Pablo Mejia Veilla for the 12-year-old Zangerscheid gelding by Calvados Zed. Pair that's been competing recently in the low junior division. Also took a reserve championship title at the Devon Horse Show this past spring. Her first occasion competing at that prestigious horse show. Very small ride here today. Can really be suited for those speed competitions like we saw on the first day of competition here. Under 16 hands. Quite petite for the upper levels of show jumping, but as we see over fence 1, definitely not a problem for this horse. Plenty of scope over that first fence. So looking to jump another clear round, keep herself in contention for that gold medal. But it's not just about their performance in this round. They still have another round of jumping to come following this one. Any rider still on a tie will jump off for those medals. Oh, and a rail is going to fall at that triple combination. So she adds 4 onto her ultimate score. So keeps it to just the 1 rail down, 1 to add for time as well. So she's going to come home with 5 penalties in that round. So 5 to add to her already existing score of 0. Rider for Honduras up next, competed here as an individual this week. So no team competition, but has still been jumping alongside all the other pairs and racking up absolutely no rails. Incredibly careful. Lanier Perez, this is Diva Dean, the ride for Jorge Loria, as well as Annette Laura and Diego Loria. 14-year-old Dutch Warmblood mare by Corland for the young rider. 5 years into his riding career. Low Children's champion and reserve champion during the Winter Equestrian Festival in 2020. Also champion in the High Children's in 2021. Not his first appearance here, though. Silver medalist in the Children's division in NAYC in 2021. Very experienced horse for this young rider. Diva Dean has competed in the Central American Games, has also won the Hamptons Classic, that derby up there with her owner. Rider representing Honduras coming into the last line, still penalty free. So it's another clear round. Nothing to add for Lanier Perez. Ties for the lead along with 4 other competitors that have managed to jump a clear round here this morning to add on to their already existing score of 0. Rylan Conway next to go for Zone 2. Another rider coming forward on 0. Aboard the 9-year-old Nasa Van de Bien, Belgian Warmblood mare. Already some big victories for her. And the children's jumpers at the Winter Equestrian Festival. Also topped the Hamel Equitation Final at the National Horse Show. It's a 3-3 equitation medal. But stepping into the big equitation this year, looking to perform well at some of those big finals, stepping up to the 3-6 fence height. The equitation serving is a great foundation for so many of these young riders that hope to step into the ranks of show jumping later on in their careers. Just here in Traverse City alone, we've seen so many of the big names that got their start in equitation. Really helps these young riders learn some of the technicalities, the riding ability that it takes at these higher levels. Also to perform on a big stage, because those equitation finals provide quite the nerve-wracking experience, as do these North American Youth Championships. Quite a lot on the line here for these young riders. But Ryland Conway not letting that pressure get to her. She is still on the clear. Comes to the last, clears it, nothing to add. Another clear round score. So Ryland Conway ties herself up at the top. Current leaders include Livia Martin, Chloe Kwong, Matilda Kendall, Taylor Colley, Lanier Perez, and now Ryland Conway. All these athletes still at the top of that leaderboard. Another Canadian gold medalist here this week. This is Taylor Wood. It's the ride aboard Joyride. 12-year-old Dutch warm-blood gelding. Avid competitor across Canada, also at the Winter Equestrian Festival. Recently began showing in the meter 30 junior amateur division. Tacoma Reserve Championship in that division at Angelstone. In 2021, she represented Canada also in the children's division here at North American Youth Championships. It's the anchor rider for a team of just 3 riders and brought home the bronze medal on that occasion. So moving up into that gold medal position just a few days ago here in the 2022 North American Youth Championships. And coming down this last line, still on the clear. Within that time, 78.48. So it is another clear for Taylor Wood. Holds her position up at that top of the leaderboard. So much impressive riding in this round here today. We still have 8 riders tied for the lead. Only 4 left to go in this first round of jumping before the course will reopen for inspection, and they will jump another round of jumping. One other rider returning on 0. This is Olivia Sweetnam, Zone 4 competitor. She's aboard Cobalt, owned by Sweet Oak Farm, 16-year-old Swedish warm-blood gelding by Cyclone. Very competitive rider at all levels, was an incredible pony rider, now moving up into the higher levels of show jumping and not missing a beat, following in her father Shane Sweetnam's footsteps. This year she was the children's jumper champion at the Devon Horse Show, but also so many accolades in the pony ring. Winner at the USEF Pony Finals. Competing up to the medium junior jumper fence height now. This horse a winner at the 3-star level winning a 3-star Grand Prix. So great partner for Olivia as she navigates the higher levels, starts to compete in some of these bigger championships. We will certainly be seeing her progress through the divisions, making it likely up to the young rider fence height. 1.45 m, but still quite a few years to go for her. Very young athlete, but so talented. Sails over the last, another clear round for Olivia Sweetnam. Time is good as well. She records nothing to add there. So still a tie at the top. And more riders tying for that leading position. So only 3 remain in this first round of jumping in the children's individual final. First of those 3 for Zone 2, Taryn Keeley. She's riding Nikita Jolie, owned by Ashland Farms and Major Wager, 12-year-old Oldenburg mare by Numero Uno. Top competitor in the low junior jumpers, Taryn. It's been a great partner for her, this former ride of Brian Mogray, who was selected to represent the United States at the World Championships in Denmark. This horse taking 3-star victories with Brian aboard in both Wellington and Tryon. Also took a 4-star win during Nations Cup week in Wellington. Quite the impressive resume on this horse in FEI competition. Now helping Taryn navigate the higher levels of jumpers. Taryn training with Stonehenge Stables. Maximaya leading the efforts there. But TJ O'Mara on the ground here in Traverse City, coaching her. Well, another clear round for Taryn and Nikita Jolie. It was a quick round as well, but most importantly, no faults to add. So with just 2 remaining, we still have quite a few tied. We have 9, to be specific, tied on 0 faults. So they will look to jump another clear round after round 1 comes to a close. Then any still tied on that 0 fault score will jump off. Rider for Zone 5, Allison Orth and Chabada de Zed. Her own 10-year-old Zangerscheid mare by Crown Zed. This rider took the Reserve Circuit Championship during the Winter Equestrian Festival in the Children's Jumper Division. Very competitive division there. To be up at the top after a 13-week series is quite the accomplishment. But already competing up to the medium junior fence height. Took several victories at the Lamplight Spring Spectacular recently. Also took a win in the North American League Low Junior Amateur Jumper Classic during the first week of the Great Lakes Equestrian Festival here in Traverse City. Great way to set themselves up for a successful week of competition here at the North American Youth Championships, which they certainly have had. And just 1 fence away from another clear round. Extremely quick, 73.02. So we've seen very few rails come down in this final round of competition. So tight up there at the top. 10 now tied on 0 faults. Such an impressive display of show jumping. And the final pair on course. Rider who took the win in that speed class just a few days ago. Extremely successful here showing this week. This is Laila Nakatani for Zone 10. She's aboard Dianet, 8-year-old Swedish warm blood mare by Diorado. Last year here in Traverse City, she was on the children's jumper team at the North American Youth Championship. Took the gold medal on that occasion. Also finished 6th as an individual. Aboard the same mount, this horse was just 7 years old on that occasion, so a year's worth of experience since that. Looking to take a spot on that podium here today. Won an open mini prix, the Thunderbird Show Park. Also various meter 20 and meter 25 victories. Recently showing at the meter 30 level as well. Partnered together since the horse was only 6. So getting to know each other, but they're both still very young. Big things lie ahead for them, including potentially a medal here today. And just jumping in spectacular form. Final pair on course. She could make it 11 pairs tied for the lead. And she does. It's another clear round, 74:34 on the clock. So we have quite a few tied for the lead up there. Laila Nakatani taking another spot atop that leaderboard. It's a very impressive display of show jumping out there in this first round for the children's division. I still have one more round of jumping to refine that overall leaderboard. After that round comes to a close, any still tied will jump off for those medals. So we have 11 tied at the top on 0 faults. Very impressive. Not a rail has come down for those top 11. You see the standings after the first round of this individual final. We'll see the top placers return shortly for a course slightly different. Gonna let these course designers rebuild that course. Let the riders re-walk, and we will be back soon with that second round of this children's individual final. Well, we're back underway with the second round of the children's individual final at the Gotham North FEI North American Youth Championships for jumping, presented by USHJA. Have 11 pairs tied at the top on clear rounds. But first, returning for the second round over a different course, Kate Cornell and Doltaire. Kate returns on 15 penalties. Had a slight mishap in that first round to add to her 4, bringing forward into today. But looking to finish on as high a note as she can. Likely not going to break into those medals today, but performing quite well here regardless. Slightly shorter track here. Anderson Alima, the course designer, jumps that same plank backwards. I believe she had that fence down in round 1. And coming to the last. So 4 to add in the field, 2 on the clock, 6 to add to her total score. Completes on 21 penalties overall. So some really strong rounds there over the past 4 days for Kate Cornell. Finishes her championship run with a 4-fault round. Second rider coming forward, Emma Brody and Carantino Zed. 5 faults carried forth from the previous round of jumping here this morning. Competitor for USA's Zone 2. Had just 1 rail and 1 time fault. the round prior to this. But looking to finish strong on a clear round. Only clear rounds up until earlier today. Big rollback turn to the skinny vertical here. I'm looking to not have a time fault. The only one we've seen on this course so far ran into 2 time faults. But very quick around the second round course here today for Emma. And clears the last, 56.70. So she keeps her score to just 5 overall. So first one to clear this second round track. Just 9 obstacles on this course, but still a very technical, difficult track for the children's, perhaps the most difficult they've jumped here this week. Alexa Curry and Centex up next. They came into this competition on 4 faults, then jumped a fault-free round. So currently sitting on just the 4. Tomorrow, the final day of these Gotham North FEI North American Youth Championships for jumping, presented by USHJA. The junior and young rider individual finals will take place tomorrow. The children's and pre-juniors wrapping up their competition today. That Liverpool Ox are going to fall for Alexa. And then a bit of spookiness there at the skinny vertical. They did not jump that fence in round 1. So just a little more to look at, presenting a little more of a challenge. So it gets over it, but does pull that rail. So for the refusal for the rail down. So we're going to start ticking into time faults as well with the circle. So 23 in total for that round. Makes a 27 fault effort for the week. So not quite the way she would have wanted to end, but some fabulous clear rounds put in there by Alexa throughout the week. So now we get into the top of the leaderboard. There are 11 riders tied on 0 faults coming into this final round of jumping. Some incredible jumping efforts being put forth this week by these 11 riders. First of those for Canada, Livia Martin and Karate. Again, coming into this final round without a single pull down. So really looking to keep all rails intact. Any pairs that do tie at the top of the leaderboard for any medal will jump off to break that tie. Rider for Canada still on the clear. Those Canadian riders taking that gold medal in the team competition. She puts herself in incredible position for another gold medal potentially. She finishes all rounds of competition on a clear score. So the first to complete this division completely clear over the fences. Nothing to add to her score over 5 rounds of jumping. So for USA's Zone 10, Chloe Kwong and Kalea. Another rider returning on no faults whatsoever. We'll see how many can keep their scores at 0. Ten jumping efforts in this second round track. So 10 opportunities for a rail down. We've also already seen some time faults. Those time faults can prove very costly, and a rail does fall, unfortunately, for Chloe Kwong at that skinny vertical. New fence to be jumped in this round. Very winding second round course. First round we saw quite a few bending lines, a little bit more straightforward. This one really testing the rider's ability to ride a specific line and track. So just 4 faults to add for Chloe. She finishes the week on 4. Depending on how the rest of this class shakes out, she could bring home a top placing. Quite an accomplishment to still jump that many clear rounds to make it into the final, still on a clear. But a lot of pressure for these young riders who have reached ultimate perfection throughout the week. Another Canadian rider, Matilda Candel and Disco de Pleville. Another pair on 0 penalties. Already 1 gold medal in hand. Chasing that individual gold to add. Current leader, the only one to have not dropped a rail in all rounds of competition, Livia Martin. We'll see if any of the remaining athletes match her score. It's not going to be a gold medal for Matilda. Rolling out the second of that double combination. So just 1 down on course. Another rider to finish on 4 total faults. Made it to this second round of the individual final on a clear and coming home just on the 4. So still highly successful week here in the children's jumpers. These North American Youth Championships. Very big stage for such young talent. Another fault-free round for Taylor Cawley, returning aboard Quintago VA. Seeking to get herself a spot on that podium. Right now we only have 1 completely clear effort. That's Olivia Martin for Canada. Still seeking that second that would then guarantee a jump off for gold. But Olivia Martin currently sitting in that gold medal position with 0 faults. Quite a big task for both horses and riders to jump this many rounds in a week. They're on their 5th round of jumping. 1 individual qualifier, 2 rounds for the team competition, now returning for 2 rounds here today, including any jump-offs that may have taken place on team day. We did see 2 separate jump offs, so 4 teams had to jump off. And we may see another one for the top medals. These horses and riders are likely tired, but still putting in their best efforts. Thinking about that time allowed, picking up the pace coming into this double combination. Oh, light rattle at that plank, but that's still up. She's still on the clear. And she races for home. Determined to not get a time fall, but also not knock a rail, and she does neither one. She secures the tie at the top on 0 fault. Second one to do so. See how many more join them, but there will officially be a jump off for that gold medal. Taylor Cawley and Olivia Martin now will battle it out, along with any others that continue to jump clear, as we still have 7 remaining on a completely clear slate in these championships. Next clear effort, Lanier, Perez, and D. Vadine. Already a silver medalist in this children's division, competing individually for Honduras. Already a jump off for that gold medal position. So it will ultimately come down to a foot race. 2 riders at the moment in that jump off for gold. Still 7 to go to potentially add their names to that list as contenders for the gold medal. Lanier, a top competitor. We've seen some incredible rounds put in by him during these championships. Not his first appearance here. Knows this horse very well. Great partnership. And still on the clear, just 1 from home. And a clear round it is. That makes 3. Finishing on a completely clear slate. So 3 jumping off to claim that gold medal. Very competitive children's division here at the North American Youth Championships. Bit of a glimpse of the future of not only our sport, but riders that could be moving up into the pre-junior, junior, and young rider divisions in years to come. Each of those divisions still have their individual final that lies ahead. So we still have 4 gold medalists left to crown in these North American Youth Championships. Canada's Taylor Wood up next, and Joyride. So much pressure to jump clear rounds. So not going to be a gold medal finish today for the Canadian rider Taylor Wood. 1 rail down on course. So an unfortunate refusal there, ticking over into time as well. Going to finish on 15 penalties for the refusal. An extra 11 on the clock. So not going to be a part of that gold medal jump off. Ryland Conway next to go. Rider coming on 0 penalties. Looking to join those 3 completely clear efforts right now. Olivia Martin, Taylor Colley, and Lanier Perez. Just getting tighter at the top by the second. Right now, you have to jump a clear round if you want any medal at all, with 3 completely clear efforts. So all those medals are currently spoken for. Any rail on course will drop you out of contention. But Ryland determined to make it into that jump off. Just 1 away from home. Time is okay. Balances for the last and makes it 4 that will jump off for those medals. Going to be very competitive as these top riders return to battle it out. We have 4 that through 5 rounds of competition have not dropped a single rail. They have 1 more round to get through. But it's more than rails that will be important in that round. They're going to have to be the fastest as well. Olivia Sweetnam up next with Cobalt. First of just 4 remaining to jump the second round. One that all of these riders will certainly have to look out for. If she makes it into the jump off, can be very fast. Extremely accomplished young rider already. So coming around to the final line, still clear. Could become the 5th to make it back for that jump off, and she does. 0 faults. So 5 completely clear efforts across the board. Getting more competitive. Nikita Jolie, Taryn Keeley aboard. First of just 3 rides that remain in the second round of jumping for the children's individual final. Some really impressive jumping out here. Already 5 in that jump off. This could be a very quick pair. Huge step on this horse. She'll be one to watch in that jump off. Becomes the 6th on a completely clear slate. Taryn Keeley secures herself a spot in that gold medal jump off. So just 2 remain in the second round of this individual final for the children's division. Currently tied at the top, we have Olivia Martin, Taylor Cawley, Lanier Perez, Rylan Conway, Olivia Sweetenham, and Taryn Keeley. There you see our current leaderboard. Those 6 will go head-to-head for that gold medal jump off. Still 2 more to jump to see if they can also secure a spot in that jump off. Fastest clear round will take the gold. So first of just 2 remaining. Lila Nakatani to jump next over this round 2. She was the winner in that speed round on day 1 of these children's jumper NAYC championships. She's aboard Dionette. Took a top finish in the individual placing last year. Looking to improve on that. Just an 8-year-old mare. A lot of big things to come for this pair, starting with the task at hand today, the gold medal in the individual final for these children's jumpers. Certainly a rider that does not let the pressure get to her. Quite a bit of impressive jumping put in by this 8-year-old. Very impressive riding from Lila. They were very fast in that initial round to take the win that day. Oh, and unfortunately that plank goes, so won't be returning for that gold medal jump off. Right now we're looking at 6 returning. Has the potential to be 7 with 1 pair remaining, but Lila's run for the medal ends here today, just 1 down. Going to finish on a total of 4. Slides into 7th place. So final pair to try to put her name on that jump off list for the medals. All of those respective medals will be decided in that jump off, with 6 currently on a completely fault-free score. The last one to go, Allison Orth, Ciabatta de Suzed. Another extremely quick pair, one that these jump-off athletes will have to look out for if she does indeed make it. Oh, and a heartbreaking refusal there. So her name officially out of contention for the medals. It's going to be a 6 returning for that jump off. So just finishing up this course. Very strong, still hasn't touched any of these rails. So really impressive jumping efforts. But is starting to tick over into time as well because of that refusal. So a total of 18 for Allison to add to her final score. And we do have 6 that completed completely clear efforts over the 5 rounds of jumping spread over 3 days. Really impressive record there from those 6 athletes. We will see them return for a jump off. Those 6 riders: Olivia Martin, Taylor Cawley, Lanier Perez, Rylan Conway, Olivia Sweetnam, and Taryn Keeley will all go head-to-head for the 3 medals. 3 of them will stand atop that podium, but which 3 we will find out shortly as that jump-off gets underway. Of course, designers and ring crew gonna spruce up this jump-off track. We'll be back in just a few moments' time with that medal-deciding jump-off. Well, we turn our attention now to the 6 athletes that are returning on a completely clear slate to jump off in these Gotham North FEI North American Youth Championships for jumping presented by USHJA. 6 riders to take to this jump-off course. The top 3 placers will make up that podium, with the number 1 spot taking the gold medal. But first to go, Olivia Martin and karate. All 6 of these athletes jumped 5 clear rounds, not leaving anything to chance here in this gold medal jump off. Olivia first of 6, not knowing exactly what it will take to get that gold medal. Oh, really took a chance there, but unfortunately does not pay off. So total of 2 down so far coming to the last. Time was incredibly quick, 29.91, but with 2 rails down, likely will not find herself atop that podium. But she really did lay it all on the line. She took all the risks, knowing that there are some extremely fast pairs coming behind her. So second rider, Taylor Cawley, Quintago VA. Second of 6 riders that jumped completely fault-free in these North American Youth Championships. Excellent display of show jumping over the past 3 days in this division. 5 clear rounds. Taylor hoping to follow in her mother's footsteps. Molly Ash Cawley, professional show jumper, already off to an incredible career at such a young age, and picking up the pace coming around to the first fence. At this point, a clear round will take over the lead. Another very tight turn back to that vertical. This time leaves it up, goes around the decoration to the double combination, but gets a great shot into it. Light rub on the oxer. Races home. 31.18 becomes the new target to beat, set by Taylor Cawley. It's a clear effort. So she becomes the first one to jump at that 6th clear round. Very impressive display of show jumping there. Now they're all chasing that time. 31.18 the target time. Linear Perez for Honduras next to jump off. Working our way through these 6 athletes, all tied on a 0 fault score. Taylor was extremely quick, omitted a stride in that last line. Very tight in that rollback, back to the vertical at 5. Linear looking to improve upon his former silver medal finish. Wants his name in contention for gold this time around. Taking this turn very tightly. And now galloping for home. Going to be a neck and neck finish. And he makes that time even tighter, 30.14 the time on the clock. The crowd erupting, his cheering section going crazy, so excited for him. Takes over the lead. But 3 left still to go. So right now, Lanier sits in that gold medal position. Taylor Colley now in the silver medal position. 3 more riders still to come to jump this jump off track. And 3 very quick riders at that, so this lead could very well change hands. Rylan Conway, 4th to jump off. Another rider on a completely clear slate. Aboard Nasa Van de Bien. Time riders are chasing now 30.14. Lanier shaved off over 1 second from Taylor Colley's time. Rylan Conway picks up a gallop. Real small, compact horse that she has. Could serve her very well in this foot race. Definitely on a mission here on this jump off. Flies the Oxer. Now has to get the rideability back. Stays a little wider, but jumps out wide. She is very close to this time. She could be faster indeed. And she is. This pace keeps getting quicker. Just when you think the pace has become as quick as possible, they find more space there. Rylan Conway, 28.66. Very impressive time there. She was about a second and a half off of Lanier Perez's time. So Rylan Conway takes over that gold medal position with 2 left to jump. Lanier Perez now in that silver medal position. Taylor Colley with the potential to take bronze. Olivia Sweetnam and Cobalt chasing that time of 28.66. First of 2 remaining. She could be extremely quick. But Rylan Conway has set the bar so high. All these riders getting a great slice and fence too. It's a slightly more conservative distance into that Oxer. A little bit wider around this turn, and unfortunately going to bring that skinny down. So not going to be Olivia Sweetnam's medal today. You have to be double clear in order to take a medal at the moment. So time was still fairly quick, 31.74, but with the 4 to add for Olivia Sweetnam. So out of medal contention, unfortunately, but still many years to come for her in these North American Youth Championships. And it all comes down to this final rider on course, Taryn Keeley, Nikita Jolie. In order to get that gold medal, currently held by Rylan Conway, she has to be faster than 28.66. Completely different type of horse here, much taller, a bigger stride. So her strategy in this jump off would have been completely different. We'll see how this all unfolds, if it'll be a Taryn Keeley or a Rylan Conway in that gold medal position. And it's going to be Ryan Conway. Gold medal by the young rider. Taryn Keeley is going to have a rail at fence 2. Still trying to get a top finish. Unfortunately, another rail goes as well. So 3 double clear efforts all take the podium positions. Taryn Keeley coming home in 30.60 on the 8. So the gold medal belongs to Rylan Conway and Nasa Van de Bien. Incredible performance by that impressive young rider. Ryland coming from Zone 2. Lanier Perez from Honduras is going to take the silver with Diva Dean. That's a repeat medal for him. He's already claimed the silver medal in these championships before, this being his second one. Very impressive performance by him. And third to go completely clear over the fences, Taylor Colley from Zone 4 aboard Quintago VA. There you see the final results from that jump off. Ryland Conway sped her way into that gold medal winning position. Congratulations to her. Huge congratulations to all these athletes. Jumping 5 clear rounds is no easy feat. Just to make it to this final, to make it into that jump off, huge accomplishment in and of itself. But congratulations to those 3 clear jump off efforts. They will stand atop the podium and accept awards. Still to come today, the pre-junior individual final. More young athletes will take to their individual final, compete for top honors there. So come back and join us. Start time around noon. And stay tuned for the podium awards. We will be awarding Ryland Conway, Lanier Perez, and Taylor Colley with their medals.
Hodges Bass Company, the official award supplier of the United States Equestrian Federation, is proud to support this year's North American Championships. Hodges Bass Company is the #1 custom manufacturer of quality custom award ribbons, medals, trophies, plaques, sashes, and more in the United States. Family owned and operated since 1920. Hodges Bass Company is your first place. Remind you that tomorrow our individual final for the Young Rider Championships is this year's North American Youth Championships will stream live on ESPN3 and individual on demand as well. And you're members of the youth staff. You can stream that on YouTube Network. And if you're not in the youth side of it, come over and get there and get those championships that stream live and for free. Inviting back our top 6 riders in the children's division for the North American Youth Jumping Championships. Kieran Kiley takes the 6th award with the Kia Jolie, the 12-year-old mare by numero uno, owned by Ashland Farms and Nature Winter LLC. This award will go to Olivia Martin and the karate, the only Canadian to make this jump off round, as she was partnered with Fourth place honor to Olivia Sweetnam with the Kudo Farm Cobalt. The 16-year-old Ellen Roger out of Stone. The bronze this year going to Taylor Colley, and then Matago being another Zone 4 rider, and our jump off is showing the Oakville show jumping entry of 16-year-old Bacio Arabel. The silver this year again to Honduras and Lanier Perez with Steve McKee, who was the silver medalist last year in the children's division, repeats with silver this year, and the gold is going to Ryder Conway. Not broken there by Joe Miller. As our riders, please, our top of 3 riders, and please say let's know and make their way. Here for our presentation, that's Sarah Mamatov, the president of the National Olympic Committee for the Heritage Republic, and we also have Thomas O'Mara, the president of the United States Equestrian Federation, on hand for our presentation this morning. The prize of the USHJA also on hand for our presentation. Happy to have all of our presenters here as our riders have made their way to this podium. Excellent round of competition, and we would like to congratulate all of our riders, not just the top 3, not just the top 6, all of our riders here at the Children's Division on a job well done and making it to this spot here for our North American Youth Jumping Championship. Podium presentation time now, and the bronze medal goes to Taylor Colley, rider out of Zone 4 with O'Neill Show Jumping, Taylor Taco Diaz. Penalty free through all 5 individual rounds of penalty free to jump off as well for Taylor Colley at this year's North American Youth Jumping Championships in the children's division. Silver medalists up next, Lanier Perez and Diva Pena. Lanier was the silver medalist in the children's division at last year's North American Youth Jumping Championships, and he repeats that silver medal trend, taking it back to Honduras for the 2nd year in a row. Gold medalist of this year's North American Youth Jumping Championships is Ryland Conway, and she is about Nosa Bandadian, and she's still clear for 6 rounds of competition with his 9-year-old pair, Nova, that season. We ask that you all please rise and remove the cover for the Star Spangled Banner in honor of Ryland Conway, gold medalist in the children's division in this year's North American Youth Jumping Championship. another photo op for our medalists, and then they'll remount them for the victory gallop. Another review of the top 6. Riley Conway, the gold medalist this year with no substance at the end. A 9-year-old mare by Nobel on TNL, the silver again going to Lanier Perez, who did deep at named last year's silver medalist, repeating that success this year as he earns another silver medal at our North American Youth Jumping Championship. Bronze goes to Taylor Colley with Chicago, the 8th. Finishing in 4th, Olivia Sweetnam with Cobalt. Olivia Mark of Canada finishes 5th with Karate and is 6th. And Aaron Kiley with Youth Jumping. Medalists on the move to remount for a victory gallop as the next portion of our presentation. Again, we'd like to thank Sahir Mamatova for being here for our presentation, President of the National Olympics Committee for the Kyrgyz Republic. We'd also like to thank Thomas O'Meara, President of the United States Equestrian Federation, and Kevin Price with the USHJA. Thank you all for being here for our presentation on children's division of North American Youth Jumping Championship. Riley Conway, when you are ready, if you would please lead us on a victory lap and the gold medalist in the children's division at the 2022 North American Youth Jumping Championships. The silver goes to Honduras again, and Lanier Perez, who would keep the D, and the bronze, Taylor Colley with Chicago, the 8th. Olivia Sweetnam finishes in 4th with Cobalt. Olivia Martin 5th with Karate. 6th award to Aaron Kiley with the Youth Jumping. Another lap for our gold medalists, and we do request that our top 3 riders